Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. I'm Mike. This time we're taking a look at the Halo Encyclopedia by Dark Horse Books. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. So, I realize everyone hasn't gotten a copy of this yet, and I also realize there are those of you out there, maybe you can't afford to buy a copy of it right now. So, I wanted to take an opportunity and show you guys some of the pages inside the Halo Encyclopedia and what it's about. Of course, it's published by Dark Horse Books, and this was just recently released. And there are two different versions. The standard version that you see here, which I picked up in an area Walmart for around $45, and it had shrink wrap plastic and everything on it to protect it. And there's also the deluxe version, which sells for closer to $90 here in the US, which includes, I think, a couple of pieces of artwork as well as the light up case. And I didn't care anything about that. I just wanted the encyclopedia. So you can see it's got some really nice artwork on the front of Master Chief standing in front of a Forerunner construct and pelicans flying in the background. Gold lettering embossed on the cover. Spine of the book is the same way. And then here's the back cover. So we'll go ahead and open it up and take a look at it. I really like the artwork in this book. It's really nice. And you got your table of contents over here on the right. It opens up with a conversation called the Absolute Record, the Chronology, and then sections on Humanity, Covenant, Forerunners, Flood, and the Banished. And the absolute conversation. And to begin, you've got the absolute record. And it's talking about this book being the absolute record and about the Reclaimer. And then you have a timeline, which is really, really awesome. I do like this. And it begins in the ancient past and things like that. And again, really great artwork. You go over to the human covenant conflict. Timeline continues. The aftermath. And then it starts on the section about humanity. And they start off talking about human beings, development, culture, current status, and things like that. And then it just goes into human history. And again, awesome artwork. I love the layout of this book all the way around. It is just really, really nice. Really good artwork here of an ancient human. I do like this. Human technology, transportation. Talks about space elevators, which is cool. Space stations. So you can see all throughout, it's just really, really awesome. Planets, there's Reach, colonized worlds. And I know there's been some people online that have been asking questions like, has Reach been terraformed again, recolonized? Yes, it has. Most of the human colonies that were glassed in the war are in some stage of being re-terraformed. Aridness 2, which is featured in the Halo live action series. And there's an entire list of all the colonized worlds listed thus far. The government, how it operates, United Earth Government, United Nations Space Command. For those of you that don't understand this, don't know anything about it, the Unified Earth Government, or UEG, is essentially like the United Nations. The United Nations Space Command is the militarized arm of the UEG. And this is what all the insurrectionists are fighting against. Colonial authority. Talks about the Marine Corps, ODSTs. Air Force and Army are put in here, thank God. I know a lot of people think the Marines are the only defense force in the UNSC, and they aren't. Navy and ONI. Spartans. And it goes all the way back to the origins of the program. Spartan 2s. Spartan 2 teams that are highlighted. Spartan 3s, SPI armor and stuff like that's in here. Spartan 4s, and the Spartan 4 fire teams. Just some of those are mentioned, not all of them. And it talks about the evolution of powered armor and stuff like that. Orion armor, and it starts with the Mjolnir armor systems. Really, really awesome. Gen 3 armor. And this has kind of been a point of contention in the live action series. But again, people have to realize that is a separate timeline, separate iteration. Here in Infinite, the Master Chief is wearing Gen 3 Mjolnir. In the TV series, Master Chief is wearing Mark 6. So, yeah, I mean, it's a whole different timeline, you know, and different iteration still within the Halo universe. Master Chief and Cortana, and the weapon, of course, is Cortana. And for those of you that don't know, she does take on Cortana's name. Notable figures in the UNSC. Blue Team. Spirit of Fire crew like Captain Cutter, Professor Anders, Sergeant Forge, Jerome. My other favorite Spartan, he's a really cool dude. I like him. Alpha 9 of the ODSTs. Noble Team. Infinity crew starting with Lasky, Palmer. Spartans that served on Zeta Halo. People within the UNSC like Admiral Parangosky, Admiral Osman, Admiral Hood, Admiral Whitcomb. And the Spartan 3 personnel, you got Mendez, you got Lucy. She's a really cool character. Kurt, Hazel. AIs are in here. That's really cool. Some of the special operations personnel mentioned, and some of these are Spartans. And then Ancient Humanity, naval presence, colony ships, cruisers, frigates. This reminds me of the book Halo Warfleet. It's also a good book to pick up. Trident class heavy frigates, really cool ship. Halberd class light destroyer, we just saw that in Halo the live action series, the UNSC Pioneer. That is a Halberd class light destroyer. Punit class supercarriers, Infinity class corvettes and prowlers, shuttles and freighters. Let's see. You got ground vehicles, M12 Force Application Vehicle, the Warthog, and different iterations of it. Razorback, LRV, Rocket Hog, Gauss Hog. I really wish this had been in Halo Infinite, but it wasn't. And then you've got the M274 Mongoose and the different iterations of it. Tanks, heavy armor, Scorpion, Grizzly, all those are in here. Other heavy armor, Wolverine, Cougar, Cobra, Mastodon. This is another vehicle I was really looking forward to seeing. This is an armored personnel carrier. You got the Mammoth, Elephant. So they have gone all out in this book. There's the Mantis. Different iterations of the Pelican and the Condor are in here. And you can see how the focus on some of these isn't as technical as maybe some of you would like. I know I'm into, you know, technical schematics and things like that, and you don't get a lot of that in here. This is exactly what it says it is, an encyclopedia. Ground support craft like the UH-144 Falcon, Nightingale, Vulture, Sparrowhawk. You got a Wasp, Wervins in here. Really cool vehicles. broadsword, saber, long sword, and short sword are in here. And you start into small arms and weapons with the MA40, MA5 series. And it just goes throughout. And your sidearms, the Magnum M6 series pistols, your Mark 50 sidekicks, your submachine guns, precision rifles, your battle rifles. And then you got the VK78 Commando. This is my favorite rifle in Infinite. I really, really like this. I hope that Hasbro makes a Nerf blaster out of this. I really do. Your sniper rifles like that S7 series, your DMR. That's my favorite rifle in Halo Reach. CQS-48 Bulldog, your flamethrower, other shotguns. You got your M247. Over here you got your squad automatic weapon. Realistically, this ought to be featured more in the game with the UNSC soldiers, even with the Spartans. You know, because this is a lot of firepower. I don't know why this isn't featured more, particularly like in Infinite. This is something that you would definitely pick up on the battlefield to engage the Covenant with. M41 Spanker. I actually like this rocket launcher, the Pilum, a whole lot better. I just think it looks better design. It's got a 2-round detachable magazine. You got your Hydra MLRS. And you got your rail guns and stuff like that. Your Spartan lasers. Gauss cannons are in here. Then you've got your defense turrets listed. Grenades. Designators, fixed blade combat knives, nuclear weapons, and then it starts into the Covenant. Really cool artwork there. Starts off talking about the Covenant. And each section is covered military, technology, government, hierarchy, things like that. Their history, how they came into being, the ingathering, different conflicts and things that they faced within their own internal history and struggle. The Great Schism, the aftermath. Talks about the Sanshiyum, which have a long history with ancient humanity. Sangheli. Then you have the different types of Sangheli warriors and things like that listed. The Lagolo, different types of those. The Anmi, Kigyar, Ungoi, Jirahani, Huragox, the Fringe. You got Covenant technology listed in here. Transports. Energy systems, how they power their ships, their weapons, shields, things like that. Gravity systems. Covenant space. High Charities in here. This is really cool section. Really, really nice artwork. Sanghelios. Some of the flora and fauna animals on Sanghelios. Significant locations. Tithe worlds. And this is really cool. I mean, it just goes all in depth in this. The Covenant government, military, Covenant roles, special warfare, the arbiters. This is a really good section. All of it's really good. All of it is. Splinter factions within the Covenant, Covenant leaders, arbiters' allies. Historic Sangheli are listed. You know, these are things they didn't have to do, but they did. The Brute leaders, Covenant vestiges, the founders, they're listed. That's really awesome that they're in here. The naval presence of the Covenant. And it start off on their vessels, the carriers, super carriers, light carriers, your cruisers. And there's many different types of cruisers, different sizes. Other warships that they have, like their frigates, destroyers, support craft, Sangheli specific warships, scouting vehicles, starting off with your Ghost, the Spectre, the Revenant. All those are in here. Heavier armor, the Wraith. Excavators, and of course you got your Locust, your Scarabs. Deployment craft like the Spirit, variations on that. Phantoms. Drop pods. Banshees, different variations on it, different versions. Strike fighters like the Seraph. You start into plasma weapons like the plasma rifle, the repeater. Really cool weapon. I do like this. The storm rifle, I like it as well. Precision weapons. Needler, my favorite Covenant weapon to use in-game and multiplayer. I don't like any of the other ones on multiplayer, but I do like this. Mauler, spike rifle, concussion rifle. Heavier weapons like the fuel rod guns, different variants on it. Plasma cannons, you know, turrets, sentry turrets. Your shade turrets, different iterations on it. Covenant artillery. Explosive and melee weapons. And then it starts into the Forerunners. I love this artwork. I think this is awesome. I do love this. Great artwork of the die deck. And it starts off talking about the Forerunners as a race, their history. And let's see, their society, builders and miners, life workers and other ratings, warrior servants, knights, their technology, sentinels, armigers are in here, the composer's legacy, watchers, crawlers, knights, things like that, Forerunner construction. This is a really cool section. The machines that they use, their transportation, decuman. All this stuff is just fascinating. It starts off on the Halo arrays, the arc. It talks about each of the rings, including Zeta Halo. Post-activation ring worlds, constructs and planetoids, including shield worlds like Onyx. That's in there. Fauna and stuff like that's in here. It gives you different species. The Didact, the Liberian, Master Builder, different personalities. The Ancilla, which is their version of AI, naval power, the weaponry, starships, warships, key ships, guardians. Let's see. Infantry weapons. I love the binary rifle. That thing is awesome. Turrets and grenades. And it goes into the flood. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this section. I mean, but it covers every aspect of the flood. Every aspect. And then the banished is the last section. This is really cool artwork. The origins, the purpose, their history, different members and case system within the banished. Different ranks. And if you hadn't noticed, the banished is mostly comprised of the brutes. There are Sangheili and grunts as well as jackals. There's also some humans aligned with them, but the banished are primarily using them, you know, for their own purposes. Lagolo, there's some of those in there as well. Skimmers, banished technology, their machines, fortifications, occupation, Spartan killers, Architects of the Banished, leaders on Zeta Halo of the Banished, leaders on the Ark, notable figures, banished warships, vehicles, combat walkers, heavy armor, ground support vehicles. And there is a page that is stuck. Invasion craft. Jirahani weapons. Imperial weapons. Turrets and cannons. Swords and explosives. Bludgeon weapons like the gravity hammer. And that's it. Definitely worth the $45. Not worth $100. And I say that just because it is, you know, to really have it. But if you just want to buy the encyclopedia for the information, yes, it's definitely worth $45. Paying $100 for it is just getting the gimmicks with it. But it's definitely worth $45. If you're a fan of Halo, you certainly need to go out and pick this up. Guys, there is the Halo Encyclopedia by Dark Horse Books.